What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is what we've all been waiting for. All right, we have the official Ethereum ETFs going down live, launching, okay, with a massive inflow of assets, over $10 billion that have surged into these assets. So I want to get into what's exactly going down. We're going to talk a little bit of the broader crypto market as we get this crypto breaking news to kind of kick off this Tuesday with the long awaiting of this announcement. This has been something that's been something stemming within crypto. I think the broader market has been waiting for it. However, we are selling off kind of intensely if we look at the overall market as it's currently shaping up. So I want to break that down for you guys. If you can, do me a solid. Make sure you all subscribe to the channel if you have not yet done so. If you are a subscriber, appreciate you guys. Thanks for returning. I appreciate each and every one of my subscribers, and let's get down into it, okay? And as always, guys, remember, this is not financial advice, so always do your own research and due diligence when we talk crypto and anything financial here on the channel. But as we look at the crypto bubbles, you can see what I'm talking about. It has been a red day. I'm seeing numbers, pretty much everything is at least 5% down, if not 4 or more. So that's where we're looking at. Some of the cryptos, with the exception of Ethereum name service, that is up 11.6%. We are seeing a pretty red day for a lot of the cryptos in the top 100. That's kind of what we have. Okay, so you can see a lot of these big names down almost 10% in most cases, if not more. There are a couple outliers along the way, but for the most part, this is a very red day for crypto. So a little bit of the sell the news event going down as well. So let's get into kind of what's going down. This is what we're talking about. $10.3 billion in assets are surging, okay? We've seen this start off, a lot of strong investor confidence within the Ethereum ETF's initial funding. So how much of this has already been priced in? Time will tell, but amongst Bloomberg's James Seifert, we have noted the impressive asset level starting out, reflecting the high demand for this Ethereum investment. So this is a BTC total liquidations chart. You can see what's happening is this is kind of a little bit that is showing the exchange volume and kind of where we're at, okay, in terms of liquidations versus where Bitcoin is currently on the charts. This is a chart that is actually back from July 4th of 2024. So it's something that doesn't really tell the whole story. I think when we look into the crypto bubbles, you can see in terms of Bitcoin, I know this is a little separate from Ethereum, but you can see kind of the run that we did have. We were brushing 70,000 this week, where we did think we were going to pass through that psychological barrier, but ultimately stopping short, getting as high as 68,158. Okay, and Ethereum, conversely, same kind of story. We got as high as 35.33 on the day. And if we look back on the course of this week, it's been pretty much on par with that. So it's been kind of stable around 3,500. If we can ever get back to these levels that we had over the course of the year, where we just briefly looked like we were going to pass through 4K when this all came about initially, and we had this initial wave of news. However, that did not really have a long-lived effect on the chart, as we've noted this sell-off since that time period back on March 9th, ultimately getting as low and below 3,000 for Ethereum on the chart. Okay, but let's get back into it a little bit. These are the starting assets. You can see 10.3 billion, all pretty much from Ethereum's assets. Okay, when we look at the ETF, okay, and you could go even further into this because the funding source in a disclosure gives a better view of the ETF's initial success that was driven more so than just having confidence in the Ethereum market, but also the thought of having a more broader crypto vehicle in traditional finance. Okay, so that's kind of what we have. It's a heavy first day. These inflows are a very great thing to talk about. It's not just showing kind of the right here, right now, but I think for the future of crypto, this is something where we see these heavy inflows having an effect for the interest that we're going to see for the future, just more so in traditional finance. Now, what's interesting, and it's something I want to kind of bring up to you guys, is we covered all this. We talked about it within the Bitcoin ETFs dropping, and I did want to note to you that we did have this buy the rumor, sell the news event where it took off. We saw huge inflows, but then subsequently there was market manipulation as always, and we did sell off, stemming immediately following. So how much of this was already priced into the price of Ether? That is yet to be determined. How much of Ethereum pumping is something that we've kind of expected this to trickle down into altcoins and meme coins, all the ERC20 tokens. Yeah, it happened. That probably was a little bit priced in leading up till today. So what we see from here on out is going to be kind of the the focus of what we're going to be covering and talking about here on the channel. All right, so this is kind of what we've associated. All right, this is something where people want to get into new assets, they want to diversify, they want to get in crypto, they don't know how to get into crypto. That is the beauty of these ETFs. That gives people an avenue and a vehicle to do so. However, it does not expose them to kind of the day-to-day trading and the risk and volatility that maybe us as traders have a more of a kind of I guess you would say dexterity to in handling all of those ebbs and flows. Okay, so that's something where we look into the future. We'll see how kind of the SEC handles this all. I think that's something where it's going to be ever evolving. We're not going to have just this totality and conclusion just from today, just from going live, and this is going to be the end all be all. I think it's going to continue to evolve, and if we do get some green trajectory from here, that'll be great. But myself and a lot of people I do talk to crypto about personally, it's always been kind of a glass half empty viewpoint within these ETFs within the crypto sector. They're great for some people, but I think for the people that were in crypto, right, growing adoption, that is key. That's the number one thing we're lacking right now. If it gets more retail in the game, perfect. But I think it also opens the door for a lot of institutions to kind of commit some, acts. And if you want me to speak bluntly about it, these acts would be kind of what we want to get out of crypto. We want to get the institutional involvement kind of out of it. We want it to be decentralized. We don't want it to be centralized. And I just worry within not just Bitcoin ETFs, but if we get into Ethereum ETFs, Solana ETFs, and just having more, maybe a broader ETF covering all the meme coins or the top 25 alts, whatever happens down the road, which I do see happening. I think the biggest thing impacting that in kind of how we're used to ETFs and actually working as funds and how they're constructed is I think that the SEC scrutiny, I think, is what's holding it back from that being a vehicle as well. I think that the security commodity debate continues to wage war against crypto. I think that what we have coming in 2024, potentially within the presidential election, I think that's going to be a huge, huge catalyst. If we want to talk about the standpoint and the outlook for crypto moving forward, that's something that we definitely have to look for in terms of that tailwind that it could create. So that's where I'm at within these Ethereum ETFs. I did want to give you guys this kind of rundown and update on the number. There's a lot of positivity going down. Like I said, over $10 billion just on the first day within this Ethereum ETF launching. So massive, massive news on this Tuesday. Hope you guys are doing well. Enjoy the markets. It's something where it is frustrating. We see Bitcoin brushing all-time highs day in, day out, and we still do not get that pump that is kind of going to start, I guess you would call it the altcoin season, right? It just seems to be all Bitcoin-centric right now, with the exception of a few others. Meme coins have been relatively stable in terms of volatility, which is kind of awkward when you look at how they should be performing. So that's where I'm at. I'm not taking a wait-and-see approach. I am continuing to buy and to amount crypto and accumulate in these time periods. There's a lot of cryptos that I view that are just way too cheap presently. So that's kind of where I'm at. That's what I wanted to share with you guys. I hope you all are doing well. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys all in the next video. Cheers.